Good morning. Happy Friday. This is Anthony Special with Hawkeye Traders. I hope everybody had a fantastic week and everyone is going to finish the week strong. Before we jump into what I have to share with you today, I just need to disclaim to you that everything I share with you is for educational and example purposes only. Please do not take anything shared today as actual financial advice. With that, yesterday we spoke about entries. We spoke about using the Hawkeye Roadkill to measure multiple time frames into our entry. So that's one great way to get into an excellent high probability trade. So now I want to talk about one way to manage that high probability trade. I mean, guys, anybody who just gives you the trade and doesn't fulfill the back end piece of it, that's not even advice. That's just an idea. So once we get into the trade, how are we going to manage it? And there's a couple different ways to manage it. We can manage it by taking pieces off along the way. We can manage it by trying to let it ride and monitoring it and following it with a crash barrier or stops. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about Hawkeye trends and stops. Now, what does trends and stops do? So every time a bar closes, over 300 calculations are made on the price action of that bar. And what is the indicator going to tell us? It's going to tell us statistically where we should keep our stop so that as the trend continues, we can ride the blips up and down. Because remember, nothing goes straight up and nothing goes straight down in 99.9% of the cases. Every once in a while you get an extreme situation, but for the most part, the market will trend, congest, or trend, correct. So during that process, if we are particularly swing trading like I typically do, where my trades last days to weeks, I need to give it a little breathing room. So I use the Hawkeye trends and stops to let my trades breathe. If I don't want to force them, I don't want to be too tight on them, because if I am, I'm going to get stopped out. The idea is to let them run as long and as far as they're meant to run. So I'm going to show you a few real live examples, examples of actual trades I took with my own live money. So let's jump into that. I want to show you what they look like on a chart as opposed to just an example here. So guys, this is a chart, of a short position that I took. So you can see right there where it popped up. The entry point on the chart was right there at the close of the bar to the left of the arrow. Now, there was a great downward trend. Now, guys, I want that trend to go on for as long and as far as possible. Every trade I enter, I take a $10 target. I put my target $10 out. The likeliness of it hitting is not always probable, because getting a $10 move in days to weeks, unless there's something fundamentally driving the market to do that, it doesn't necessarily happen. But that's okay, because if it does happen, I'm happy to lock $10 of profit in. But if it doesn't, I want to let the trade breathe. So I manage my stop with the crash barrier, knowing that as the market trends downward, congests sideways, even retraces ever so slightly, I am going to stay in that trade as long as possible to get the maximum move out of it. Now, am I getting out all the way at the bottom? No, I'm getting out here at the crash barrier, which is fine. Guys, mind you, when I trade, I don't spend any time in front of the computer. I set my trade up, I manage it, and I live my life. And I entice you to do the same. However you build your strategy around your life, not your life around your strategy. So I want to show you what a short position looks like, how I would use the trends and stops. Now let me show you what a long position would look like. So this is the opposite direction. We're going to have an entry point right there at the base of consolidation, and then the market takes off. Now what does the market do? It trends, it corrects, it congests, it goes sideways, it even comes down close to our stop out point. But that's okay, because our stop out now is already in the profit. So anything that happens from that point forward, we are playing with the house's money. It's like when you go to gamble and you win, once you got your money back that you put on the table, the rest is the house's money. And we want to play with the house's money as often and as frequent as possible. So that's why we use this. We use these stops to get our position into the money, and then we just follow it along. Because remember, we want the most out of the move. We want to stay in the trade as long as possible based on the time frame we're trading, so that we get the most of the chunk of the move. Now take a look there. The trade exited right there. Guys, not a huge move, But for the better part of this move, our stop was in the profit. We didn't get out the very tippy top, and that's okay because it didn't hit our target, but it doesn't need to. We still got a $2 or $3 move here, $2 and change move here. Guys, on one contract, that's $2,000 to $3,000. On 10 contracts, that's $20,000 to $30,000. Wherever you fall in between on your own risk-reward management, that's still a lot of money. You can trade all of this in micros and options and things like that too. But guys, the idea here is the reason we use the trends and stops is because we want to stay in the trade as long as possible to get the most out of the move. Now let me show you a trade where the trends and stop was just merely in existence. It was the insurance policy, for lack of a better term. So here we took our short entry. Now guys, this was going into the collapse of oil earlier this year when prices actually went negative. So there was a lot of volatility in the market, but there was a lot of selling pressure because there was no demand. The demand diminished completely with the global lockdowns due to the pandemic of COVID-19. So we took a short entry right there. And, of course, we always manage our short entry or any entry, a long entry, with the stops and crash barrier. It's our insurance policy because if the trade goes against us and it does hit it, we know that we were meant to be out. And whether it hits it in a profit or hits it in a loss, the trade is what it is. We are too small on the scale here to ever affect what's actually happening in the market. So guys, this trade never got stopped out. Why didn't it get stopped out? Because my target was hit. My $10 move, the big $10 chunk, had transpired in such a short period of time. Like I said, this doesn't typically happen unless there's something fundamentally driving it, like the pandemic, like the sell-off, the Saudi-Russian oil war. Now, this happened several times. Don't get me wrong. It's not that it never happens. But most of the time, we're going to use our stop so that we can detach ourselves from the computer and live our lives while our money is making us money. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I want you to see what this looked like. I want you to see what a long stop out looks like, a short stop out, and then an actual target being acquired. So I want you to get a feel for the use of the trends and stops. You can use them as an insurance policy. You can use them to manage locking in your profits as well. And that's what's so powerful. It gives us the tools. Hawkeye gives us every tool we need from entry to exit to analyze any and every trade on any and every time frame. It's just unlike anything else that exists on the market. Guys, I speak to traders every day, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's probably the best part of my day. I love interacting with people. I love interacting with other traders. I love talking to like-minded people. And it's humbling to know that when somebody shares with me their struggles, because I always ask them, what are you struggling with the most? And they're normally struggling, within themselves. They're struggling to detach from the computer. They're struggling to let their winners run, cut their losers short. Most of it comes down to consistency and discipline where they struggle. And I saw this quote today, and it says, small steps in the right direction can turn out to be the biggest steps in your life. I hope every day when I share something with you, whether it's via this video, in the the Skype inner circle room, a direct chat that you and I might have, I hope that I'm sharing a token with you of my pain and suffering becoming the trader I am today. And with that, I hope that token sits with you. I hope that token, gets you one small step in the right direction closer to being where you want to be in your life and in your trading career. And that's very, it's been a very humbling experience for me. And I just want to share with you how much I'm truly enjoying interacting with you guys. So with that, I also wanted to share with you today, we had our first Big Energy Profits live event this afternoon at 1 p.m. and we had a tremendous turnout, over 1,000 people registered. It was just such a humbling and special experience that I had today. So many years and months of my life compounded that came to fruition this afternoon and yesterday afternoon, and it was really just something incredible. And we had such great response that we're going to run it again. We're going to shoot another event for Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you missed Thursday's event, yesterday's event at 1 p.m., and you are able to make tomorrow's event, Saturday at 10 a.m., please, check your email. You should get an email from me, Big Energy Profits, Hawkeye, Market Traders Daily, Ross Gibbons, PVA, Insider Report, from any one of us here on the team. And really, if you can make it, I would love to have you there. It was, like I said, it was really it was an enchanting experience, and I'm just so overwhelmed and humbled by the response that I got. I've had been people, texting me and messaging me and emailing me all day. And it warms my heart, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you, because you're the reason I do this every day. You're the reason that drives me to want to help you every day. And that interaction that we have has just been fantastic. And I really appreciate it. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for, for letting me into your lives. And it's really been I can't even express how special it's been for me. So guys, I'll wrap up for today. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. The weekend's here. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope everybody has a great weekend. If you need us for anything at all, you can always call us 888-233-8598. Visit us anytime at HawkeyeTraders.com, and you can always email me at team1@HawkeyeTraders.com. Address the email to me directly. This way, make sure I get it. Otherwise, our support staff is always there to help you with anything you need. I am always here to help you with anything you need. If you guys, whoever here is not a Hawkeye trader yet, who's not using our software, who's not learning our methodology, who's not experiencing the life-changing techniques that have changed my life, that have brought me, such an incredible amount of passive income that I can't even begin to explain what it means to me. Click the link below. Check out the V-Swarm webinar. I promise you won't be disappointed. My buddy Dustin does that webinar. He's a great guy, super trainer, really delivers an amazing message. If you have questions or comments after you watch it, by all means, please shoot me an email. Shoot our team an email. We will help you with anything you need. Guys, and with that, have a beautiful weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Have a wonderful day. All right? We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.